Hey, what's up everybody? This is Altamash Nair Khan, also known as Atash, and I'm from GameDesignerOnline.com. We're going to take a look at two rotation units again in Bolt today. And another thing that I would like to add, I believe that will be very useful for you, especially when you, as there aren't many tutorials right now that talk about this. So let's do that. In the last video we took a look at how to rotate using transform.rotate. Sometimes you would not want that. So we're going to replace this and we're going to say look at. This is actually a very useful function. So transform.lookat, here it is. So we have to pass a target. This is actually a very useful unit, and we can look at anything using this. So as you can see, that saying target is actually null. We're going to change this. So how will we change this? It's actually very simple. If you can see, there's nothing in the assets, and that's not something that we can't solve. We're going to go over to scene. We're going to add main camera to this. Main camera. In fact, let me just in fact I should do this, main camera. This will be a game object variable. Okay. We need to add this, so we are just going to click and we're going to add the main camera, like that. Once we've done this, we are going to actually drag and drop this inside the graph. Now we're going to click one over here, but we should not click one. We should say vector 3 dot up. We'll pass that over there to tell this unit that this is up. We're going to pass the main camera over here. If this is correct, this rotate example is going to snap as soon as I hit play onto the camera. Let's check this. You can see that it's looking at the camera now. So if I move the camera, it should follow. See? It's following the camera wherever it goes. This is look at. So what if we need to rotate it very slowly? We're going to take a look at that. Go to rotate example. We're going to delete all of this, and we're going to actually use a quaternion, and it's going to be called rotate towards, quaternion.rotate towards. But first we need a quaternion.look rotation, so that we actually pass a look rotation. Now let me tell you, if I pass in quaternion.move towards, which is a unit, just like that, it's going to actually match the rotation of the camera. So let me just show that to you. Quaternion.look rotation. Okay. Oh, so quaternion.rotate towards. Okay. This is actually useful if you want to match the rotation of some object to another object, or mirror the rotation of another object. So we want transform dot rotation. So we'll get this current rotation, the current rotation of this object, which is over here, and we want to rotate it to the camera's rotation, which we have over here. So if you do not know what transforms are, they're basically just well, the transforms that you see on the scene. The game object has actually a component. Let me just show it to you. The component is transform. This is the component that we're accessing in this Unity Bolt flow machine. So this is what we're accessing. So now we're going to access the transform.rotation of the main camera. We'll do it by dragging and dropping it over here, and then we'll pass it over here. We also need to set the rotation now of this game object. We're going to do that by saying transform.rotation. We'll set the rotation. We'll pass in the move towards, the rotate towards. Now it's going to mirror the rotation of the camera. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, I'll hit play. Okay, now it's still pointing over there. That's because it's going to mirror the rotation of the camera. So let's move the camera. Remember that I've got camera click right now. I'm going to rotate it. And you can see that it's actually mirroring the rotation of the camera. So if I move the camera, then this cylinder also moves with it. The rotation is actually being mirrored. So what if we want this rotate example object to actually look at the camera slowly? Let's try that. So we're going to take a look at rotate example. So I did this off recording, but I'll do this again. So this is the setup. I had to test it before because quaternions can be a little unpredictable sometimes. So this is how I did it. I first need a quaternion look rotation, which is basically Unity's method of actually, well, outputting a rotation which will be a look rotation. So we are basically going to use the result, which is over here, in our next unit. The first thing that we need to do is actually take the camera and get its position. Transform dot position. We're going to pass it over here. Oh no, we are not going to pass it over here. We're actually going to have another, which is basically, since this is the self get position, that is the position of the actual rotate example game object, so we don't need to pass anything over here, but we do need a subtract unit. So subtract, we have it. We're going to connect this, get the subtraction result, pass it to forward, and the up is Y. Next unit we need is a quaternion dot rotate towards. You want to rotate from transform dot rotation of this object, and we will pass the result. We need to also move this by 2, so hopefully it will rotate slowly towards the main camera. Now we need to set the rotation. Transform.set rotation. There we go. Hopefully it'll work. If it does not, I'll just do it during the recording. It should rotate slowly towards the camera, so let's see. And it does rotate slowly towards the camera. Another thing that you may notice is that it's slightly, looking at the rotation is like 180, but the rotation over here, you can see that it's minus 1 sorry, 11.31, but that is actually because we're taking in an absolute like rotation. We're actually taking in the entire rotation, the entire look rotation. That's the reason why it's happening. So we've done this. What happens if we actually connect these units in the incorrect way? Well, this is what will happen. You can see that the rotation is absolutely making no sense. Okay, for look rotation, always subtract from always subtract the target from the game object rotation, so that works properly. Remember, don't do it the opposite way. This is the target, and this is the object that is to be rotated towards it. So don't connect it the wrong way, otherwise the rotation will not work correctly. Don't do that. But always remember that this is the sequence. Never ever do it any other way. Trust me, it's going to cause a lot of problems. Never do it the other way. Anyway guys, take care. I'll see you in the next video.